I've been kind of quiet about this because I just been sitting back, watching some things said on Facebook, and watching our black elected officials on a national level punk out. Just keeping it plain. Every 10 years, there's a Farrakhan issue, right? And every 10 years, a group of people get together and they bring Farrakhan in the mix, and to get black people to denounce our brother, Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it seems it's the season again for black leaders to denounce Minister Farrakhan. And I hope, after I say this, that other black radio stations will speak up for the minister and the work that he has done in the black community for over 60 years. See, I have a problem when white people always want to pick the leadership of black people. I have a problem with that. When they don't even come in our community, they don't invest in our community, they don't help our community, they don't do anything in our community but want to pick who black people will say who is their leader. They want to label the minister anti-Semitic because he's questioned certain Jews and what they have done. Because the Nation of Islam research team wrote a book, The Secret Relationships of Blacks and Jews, where they researched Jewish scholars on their history in the slave trade of Africans, right? And they put it in a book. Because he said Hitler was a wicked, great man. They say, oh, he says Hitler's great. So they want, and that was over 20 some odd years ago. Wow. So they want us to denounce the minister. But these same, and if you do the Google, this came from the Republicans. They got some goddamn nerve on who to denounce, and they have yet to denounce this fool in the White House, who has said racist remarks against people of color, Latinos, who grab women by the pee.
Handicapped.
Now, don't interrupt me. Do not interrupt me. Don't, because I'm going to lose my thought on this, because this is serious. See, because those people that don't like what I'm saying, black, white, or other, you could defriend me from Facebook. You don't have to advertise in Black Westchester. But we're not that type of place here. He has helped, listen, the Nation of Islam has helped black people since Elijah Muhammad. Since Elijah Muhammad. Has helped the black community since Elijah Muhammad. Putting in businesses, helping people, helping women. They say, oh, he is anti-women. Trust me, you never met a more stronger black woman than the women in the Nation of Islam. He's homophobic. And I put it on my Facebook. If I disagree with the homosexual lifestyle, does that make me homophobic? Absolutely not. That's just not me. That's just not me. And I think that's a lot of people. But if you're homophobic, do you? I mean, if you're homosexual, do you? I'm not gonna put you down. And the minister said, one sin don't outweigh another sin. So if you believe that homosexuality is a sin, you can't hold it on that person because you're doing another sin, right? And there's no weight to that. A sin is a sin. But that's your business. It's not my business. Just don't put it on me. But when you hear these things, and then when you see black elected officials that have worked with Minister Farrakhan over the years, because they get a little pressure. They want to denounce him. They did that to President Obama, Hillary Clinton. She made Obama denounce Farrakhan. You know, and we haven't, and a lot of us haven't forgot that. But now they're trying to rear the ugly head again. Why? Because maybe he tells the truth. Well, he doesn't like Jews. Well, he's been critical of Jewish people or the Jewish religion. He's been critical of Christianity. He's been critical of the Muslim world. He's been critical of Catholics, those that are in power, and how the world is today. Because let's be honest, if all these religions, right, were actually acting like the people that they claim, right, that they follow, the world wouldn't be in the situation that it is today. Right? So I mean, we could get that. But my thing is today is, I am so disgusted in hearing and seeing our black politicians get punked out when it comes to the minister. And knowing the work that he's done in the community, and he's been faithful to black people. And then they turn their back on. Big shout out to Tamika Mallory, because she's all in the paper and they're attacking Tamika Mallory because she went to Savior's Day. And they're trying to make Farrakhan a problem. Maybe he's your problem, but he's not the black community's problem. The black community love Mr. Farrakhan because they know if they want to hear the truth, they're going to listen to the minister, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. And like I said, if people don't like what I'm saying, they can unfriend me. They don't have to talk to me. They can leave me alone. But we're going to talk truth today about this and let it go. Let it go. If he says someone is wicked, wickedly great, that's not giving props to anybody. And and he got into all this, with the Jews because of Jesse Jackson. When Jesse Jackson ran for president, he made a remark. He called New York Hymietown. He called it Hymietown. And he made that great mistake when he thought the mic was off. And the mic was on. See, but these same people don't denounce those Jewish people at the time that was screaming for Jesse's death when he was running for president. Nobody's denouncing them. We get amnesia on that part. Or when they were screaming for Minister Farrakhan's death outside of arenas where he was speaking. Nobody's denouncing that. Nobody's saying, you shouldn't do that. So that's the hypocrite part. That's we're being hypocritical. You can't have it. You can't have it both ways. And when the minister stood up and defended Jesse, right? Jesse left Minister Farrakhan standing there in the fight because he was defending him. because they were screaming for Jesse's death. And that's how this beef started. People, do your research. Do your research. But, you know, I mean, this has to stop. This has to stop because black elected officials get elected in black districts. And that was one thing I was very surprised about Mount Vernon. When the minister came and he spoke at the Slater Center, no, the Dole Center, you had every level of black elected official came out, showed the minister love. And not one word of anti-Semitic, nothing, you didn't hear anything, right? And that was a couple of years ago, because that was after the death of Kenneth Chamberlain, because me and Kenny was out in the crowd together. News 12 did a little report on it, and that was it. But now all of a sudden, it's this emergence to make black people, black elected officials, to denounce Minister Farrakhan. Why? Because he called Trump out, and then he said Trump will tweet about everybody, but he won't tweet about him. So now, Trump being a coward and want to get these little groups to go after him, and then the Republicans are demanding Democrats to denounce somebody. They have the goddamn nerve. They have the nerve. And then the Democrats did it. Black ones. And it was posted, and I'm still trying to find it. It was posted that Gregory Meeks, Congressman Gregory Meeks out of New York, who's over Brooklyn, I think Queens, over all these black communities, all these Muslim communities, denounced the minister. He has some goddamn nerve, knowing the work that the Nation of Islam has done in Brooklyn and Queens and Manhattan and the Bronx, in the history of the Nation of Islam in New York City. See, and this is the time we need to run somebody against them, because they punk out. They punk out. And we can't be punks no more in this game, because our communities are not getting better, because we have punk-ass politicians that want to cow down to a little bit of pressure. It doesn't make any sense. But we got more on that. And like I said, stop bringing Farrakhan into this, because he has a long history of helping black people in the black community. You do not choose our leadership. We choose our leadership. If you don't like it, then leave us the hell alone. But we will walk with you together on truth, or we will walk through you. And that's square biz. Because see, these young kids ain't taking that no more. Because you just can't put lies in the paper anymore. You can't do that no more. So big up to Tamika Mallory. They're trying to make you denounce them, and you not denouncing them. And stand tall. Because if y'all come to me talk about denouncing, I don't tell y'all get the fuck out my face.
So,
I'm done.
So Republican Gregory Meeks, Democrat in New York, also disavowed the religious leader, writing on Twitter, Farrakhan's anti-Semitic messages are upsetting and unacceptable. I always condemn hate speech of any kind.
Yeah, but stop right there. Nobody has yet said what he said.
Right.
If you read all the articles, they have yet to say what he actually said. But they want to go back to the Hitler statement, but he straightened that out on Donahue back in the 90s. He was on Donahue's show 2 days straight.
That's the first time I seen him.
And y'all could pull it up on YouTube. And he explained what they tried to do to him with that statement. But then they tried it again with the book, The Secret Relationships of Blacks and Jews. But then he blew that out of the water because he said, look, the book is quoting Jewish scholars. We research Jewish scholars. So if the book is anti-Semitic, then the Jewish scholars that we researched that said what they said is what? Anti-Semitic. So how could that be? So they moved on from that. So now they write articles that they really have no basis because the man is 84, 85 years old, and he can have a lecture where 10, 20,000 people can come out, and more thousands of people will watch live on Facebook, and more thousands of people will watch on the website. He's the last real black man standing. Last real black man standing. And now they want to go after him. And then punk ass Gregory Meeks want to denounce him. We're going to run somebody against you, Gregory Meeks, because the black community is not going to forget it.